Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive.
Thanks for having me.
So this time we're looking into a pretty intense situation that went down in Proctorville on Saturday. A domestic disturbance call sounds pretty routine for law enforcement, right?
You'd think so, unfortunately.
But this one, well, it escalated really quickly, turned into a shootout. It's really a stark reminder of the dangers that officers face every single day, especially responding to these domestic violence calls.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's tragic, too, because this is actually the second officer involved shooting in our area in just the past 2 weeks.
Right, it really hits close to home. So we're going to unpack what exactly happened Saturday night in Proctorville. The initial call, it came in around 10 p.m., domestic disturbance at a home. Seems pretty standard, right? But, and here's where it gets complicated, this wasn't the first time the police have been called to this specific address. Turns out there's actually a history of domestic violence calls associated with this location.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So right away, that ups the ante. The stakes are immediately higher.
For sure.
And then you've got the suspect, Charles Martin, reported to be intoxicated and armed.
Okay, yeah, that's a volatile combination.
Exactly. Now, to make matters even more complex, deputies had actually arrested Martin back in August on domestic violence charges. But get this, those charges were dropped in March.
I see. So there was already a documented history with this individual.
Right, exactly.
Sadly, that's not uncommon, though. You see, domestic violence cases, they often involve this really complex web of factors that make prosecution difficult.
Yeah.
Victims may be, reluctant to testify, worried about retaliation.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
There might be pressure from family members, even the community, to just drop the charges.
Right.
And sometimes, frankly, there are real challenges in gathering enough solid evidence to actually meet the burden of proof.
It's a tough situation all around, leaves everyone feeling stuck.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, knowing all of this, officers arrive at the scene, and you can bet they're on high alert.
Yeah, you'd have to be.
But as they approach the home, the situation just explodes. Martin opens fire.
Oh, wow.
Hits a deputy in the leg.
Oh, no.
It's hard to even imagine
The chaos of that moment.
remaining calm in that kind of situation. But, and this is incredible, even after being shot, the deputy manages to return fire, hits Martin.
Wow.
And then, amidst all the chaos, the deputies, they make a tactical retreat, establish a perimeter around the house.
Okay, so they're trying to contain the situation at that point.
Exactly. It's standard procedure in these situations, right?
Mm-hmm.
Allows the officers to contain that immediate threat, protect themselves, protect any bystanders, and honestly buy some time to figure out their next move.
Makes sense. Regain control.
Exactly. Regain control. So for 2 hours, 2 tense hours, negotiations are going on. Finally, law enforcement re-enters the home. They subdue Martin. Both Martin and the injured deputy were taken to the hospital, gunshot wounds.
It's one thing to, treat the physical injuries,
Yeah.
but I imagine the psychological trauma for everyone involved.
Oh, absolutely.
The officers, the suspect, any potential witnesses, it's significant.
Without a doubt. So Martin now is facing very serious legal ramifications, charged with felonious assault and attempted murder. And as is standard in any officer-involved shooting, the Ohio Bureau of Criminal Investigation, they're stepping in to ensure a full and transparent investigation.
Good. Transparency and accountability are crucial in these cases.
Absolutely.
But it does make you wonder, could this have been prevented? What could we be doing differently to better protect not just potential victims of domestic violence, but also the law enforcement officers who are responding to these incredibly dangerous situations?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? There are those who advocate for mandatory counseling, intervention programs for individuals with a history of domestic violence. Others point to the need for maybe more specialized training for law enforcement, focusing on de-escalation tactics.
Right. Yeah.
It's a complex issue with no easy answers.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive, folks. It's a tough one, but an important one.
I agree.
We'll be back next time with another look behind the headlines. Until then, stay safe out there.